didn't bring that up. So in order to apply and receive SRF funding, last spring, the water utility had to do an asset management plan. We did build in, and that's kind of the plan all along that I spoke with Kathy about, we did build in the costs that water had already paid for those to us and Ken, if so choose, of about $40,000, and that will be refunded to the water. I think the water utility paid for it out of cash on hand. It'll be refunded to the water utility through the bonds, and we can help in that refund process through SRF. So then page 3, with the final loan number 1.697 million, this is going to be the repayment schedule. So if you look at the bond year total on the furthest right-hand side, it amounts to about $125,000 per year that you will repay to SRF, and that maturity date, final payment is July 1st, 2046. Oh, and backing up, that 4.1% for the interest rate, that is confirmed by SRF. I think when I was here last month, that was a little bit higher. We did get that final interest rate from SRF, so that is what this should be the final payment schedule. So what does that boil down to in rates? Luckily, very close to what I presented to you a month ago. I think a month ago we were talking 77%. The bids came in spot on, and we're at about 74%. So as to be expected, that is the rate increase that will be needed. And so when I was here a month ago, I told you we would stretch that 70-some% into phases as long as we could phase it. And when we prepare all the financial documents for SRF, we have to kind of show them a multi-year cash flow to show that you guys have certain debt service coverage, hopefully this all rings a bell, each year. And so what we did is we just stretched those phases to kind of reach SRF's targets. And so I said the total rate increase is about 74%. So if you look at the very bottom, I know there's a lot of numbers on here, on this page, on page 4, we're basically doing just that, kind of showing like what's the rate increase needed each year. This is very, very similar to what we will provide to SRF to get you to that debt service coverage number you need. But if you kind of focus on the very bottom, it's like a footnote, and it says number 2, and it says assumes a 3-phase rate adjustment as detailed below. So phase 1 would be a 25% increase effective September 1st this year. Phase 2 would be another 21% effective next July 2026. And phase 3, the final phase of this, would be another 15% effective January 1, 2027. So that gets you to the rate increase roughly that you guys need, and stretches it far enough to satisfy SRF requirements, as well as provide the water utility kind of that cash flow. Because if you look back on page 3, the payments in the first year during the construction period are a little bit lower than future years. So you can see in your first year the payment is in 26. Your first payment will be January 1, 26 to SRF. But in that first year during that construction period, we are allowed to do quite lower payments. So that allows you to kind of spread that rate increase, kind of ramp it up over time. So hopefully you all are satisfied with kind of that phase structure. But you're kind of looking at your current 4,000 gallon user right now is paying $33.09 a month. By the end, and you can see we break that down, the user rates with each phase there. By the end, January 1, 2027, they'd be at about 57, 53 a month for 4,000 gallons. So then if you flip to page 5 are the rates with these phases that we provided to Justin to include in the rate ordinance that you all will introduce tonight. So you'll introduce that tonight. It's just like first reading, and then here in a few weeks we will advertise in the newspaper, and then at your July meeting you will have the public hearing and then adopt the rates. And I know in between there, Cindy, we talked about mailing for users, and they're working on that as well. But this will be the new rate structure. So then if you look at page 6, this is kind of that chart. I updated it for the exact rate increase that you will move forward with for the project. So again, currently compared to all these other communities, you guys are at very low end. It says Francesville present in the red. You're on the lowest on this scale. By January 1, 2027, the very top of that phase, you'll be just a hair higher than the middle of this scale, just about $10 higher than our state average. Of course, that state average is as of this year, so then by 27, it's going to be a different state average. It's probably a little bit higher. But then for your next two phases, you guys will fall in between those two red bars that show Francesville. So pretty comparable still to a lot of communities of your size nearby.
As far as like a brochure type of thing, can we make sure everyone gets this as well?
Yes, absolutely. We usually include something like this in our great handouts that we prepare. Any questions, concerns?
Amber, I have a question.
Yes.
I think you'd heard a while prior to the meeting talking about adding a disconnect and reconnect fee in there. I think it felt like a snowbird fee.
Yes.
When, I don't have the time to take it from, when does this go for publication in the newspaper? Because I'm asking, because I was wondering if it's possible for them to introduce this subject to that being added in there so we don't have to have a whole new public hearing later in the year.
Yes. I apologize, I did forget about, we spoke about that last time, but that's ringing a bell. I was gonna ask you, actually, if they introduce as is, as long as the fee ends up in the paper, they can adopt like the amended,
Yeah, I mean, as long as they get notification of the rates and it's.
yeah,
for
the,
publication,
what they
it's not-
adopt in July can be like amended. Okay, that's what I
I'm
thought.
just not sure what publication was for the rates prior to the public hearing. So I think
It's 10 days before the public hearing. So when is your July meeting?
So we have first one.
The second,
July 2nd.
is that what it is, second?
Yeah,
Yes.
The
Okay,
journal
so
runs,
this Friday.
the journal runs every week, and legals have to be on the Thursday before the following Wednesday's publication.
Does it only run on certain days?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So it's, the meeting is on a Wednesday, they only run on Wednesdays, so it'll be not the Wednesday before, but it'll have to be in the paper 2 Wednesdays before, which is June 18th, okay. And you have to get it to the paper the Thursday before. So that's like June, okay.
Well, you can rip the name off.
I think we have time.
Yeah, I think so. They're pretty
Yeah.
good on amending
Yeah.
hours we need
We'll
to
make
do.
a big.
June 18th
So
is
it'd
public.
probably be next week, next Thursday, I would think.
Next Thursday it needs to go to paper, yeah. So, did we have a rate in mind, or was that on me to provide comparable?
Well, right now, our, reconnect fee is $50.
Okay, I was gonna
Can
provide
you do a
comparable.
comparable though to what other cities do
Yes.
charge?
I told you I was going to do that, I apologize, that
That'd
it's
be
in
fine. You played this is schools.
I think we can get that pulled together by next Thursday, easy, to have it in the paper then, with that rate, and then we just wanna make sure we add it to the ordinance that gets adopted.
Yeah, I'll add to the final
Okay.
version.
So tonight, we still adopt the rate, the new rate
It'll
increase?
just be an introduction.
Oh, okay.
Just an
Okay.
introduction.
Okay.
so just out of curiosity, when is the water project anticipated to be done?
We are submitting paperwork to SRF post bid, here this week. The grant administrator will have, some paperwork to do. We cannot actually sign contracts until they've closed, so whenever the closing is,
We don't have a final closing date from SRF. All we know right now is end of July. Once we have that,
But I'm assuming,
you mean
so
like
we're
construction?
going to have an increase in our water before the project is done? Is that typically
Yes.
done?
Because you have to finance it beforehand. You have to have the money to begin the project, right? So
Okay.
you finance first, you get the money first to pay for the project, but SRF is going to require, hey, we need to make sure you can pay us back. So the rate increase comes before closing on the bond, the financing with SRF and the projects, and then the construction begins.
Okay.
before the end of the year, you'll be done. You'll be online for the end of the year.
Before the end of this year?
Yes.
Okay. The flyer, I know we talked about, do you have a timeline as far as when that will be mailed to everybody? Since it's not until, the increase isn't until September, but I know we kind of talked about getting it before the July
Yes.
public hearing. Is that still possible?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
We're working on it right now.
Okay.
So I would say within the next 2 weeks, you
Okay.
could have it.
Okay.
Hopefully a little bit before, because I want you guys to review it and provide comment on it, because you know the town the best.
Mhm.
We don't, so I want your eyes and your input. And then, and then you guys can get them right into mail. So I would say start prepping the mailers, now, and then as soon as you have it from us. So I would say if it gets out, you know, do you think 2 weeks is enough notice for everyone in
Yeah,
town?
I would think so, so
Okay.
then they at least have the chance to come to the public hearing, but they at least have the information in their home by then.
Yes,
So,
okay, yeah, absolutely. So I think those will be mailed by mid-June.
okay, perfect.
Any other questions, thoughts? Like I said, we're waiting on a final closing date from SRF. We have pretty much all the information ready to send to them. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. Through this process, I mean, Jolene's gonna get sick of me and all my emails, but there will be what's called a pre-closing call that you all will be invited to join. You will for sure have to join it because you'll be the, you'll have to sign several things as the elected official. But you all are welcome to join that as well. I don't know when that would be, but it's typically 2 weeks before closing. So I'm guessing mid-July. And as soon, it's a Teams call, so you can share a video or you can just call in with your phone. Pre-COVID, they used to do it in person down in Indianapolis. They don't do that anymore. It's just virtual. But I will provide all that information to you all, and it's just, we'll meet with the folks at SRF and your bond counsel, Dennis Otten, and they will walk through kind of all of the processes, everything, explain things to you all, and then just kind of get the whole group together, finalize the closing details on the loan, and then typically 2 weeks after that, you guys would have money in hand to begin the project, so.
Have you heard anything from SRF on any additional monies?
Yeah, and Ken Smith asked her to, no, I've not heard any on it. I don't know if you
I
probably
don't,
have.
yeah, I wouldn't expect it at this time. I mean, as you can imagine, their applications grow each year
Mhm.
of number of communities, and I think the biggest thing that has deterred Francesville from kind of ranking higher to be eligible for those dollars would, you guys have a higher MHI, median household income, than a lot of other small towns. That's a good thing for everyone in town, but not a great thing when you want grants, right? But,
We were hoping that the high hardness sulfur dioxide chemical makeup would say, hey, you know, these guys have a need for funding to take care of this stuff, but,
Yeah,
Amber
They
said-
didn't think so, apparently.
They apparently didn't agree with me, so,
yeah.
like Amber said, don't listen to me, you should listen to Amber.
No, I think it's also it's always like the year it falls in, the funds that are available down there with them. Yeah, so I wouldn't expect anything, but I mean, I think the Ochre grant is definitely a win. 4% isn't the best interest rate in the world, it's not the worst, especially in this market, but I do still think you guys are getting a favorable package through SRF and, yeah, so.
We've seen some 5.07 rates out there, so.
Yeah, I have seen some that are still 5-6% as well, so I think 4.1 is a win in the time we're in right now, so.
Alrighty, you guys got any questions?
I don't right now.
You got anything else to add?
No, sir, I don't. So we'll get the paperwork together on our part, and then, once you close, we'll sign contracts, have a pre-construction conference, and, get going.
Okey-doke. If you have anything else come up, just give us a holler.
Will do. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Nancy and Dora?
I'm kind of gonna table that until next month. We have a few more details that we want to work out before officially presenting. But before we spend a whole bunch of time, it'll be a time spent on permits and working with excise and that sort of thing. I just wanted to feel you guys out and make sure that you are open to the idea of having a door for the festival.
What is
I
it,
don't know
Dora?
what that is.
It's a designated outdoor recreational area, so it'll entail a beer garden area at the park. And our current idea is to use the park as our border for that, Dora, and then one up here as well. So the secondary beer garden with,
Thank you very much.
basically it would be just the streets that the festival utilizes would be the boundary on that. So if you guys are open to hearing us next month, we'll have a lot more details for you, if that is okay.
So does that pertain to, if they have an open beer, they can go up and down the Bill
Yes,
Street?
the designated streets, yes.
Okay.
There are a lot of rules that it entails. It has to be a certain container, it can't just be any drink, has to come from that certain spot. I'm still learning about all the rules myself, it's very detailed, but, we're doing our research on it.
Can I inquire where is this at?
For the festival.
So is the Fall Festival Committee or whoever, are they for it too, or do you know?
Yes,
They
yeah,
are.
yeah. And I will probably keep attending these meetings just as a liaison, so I know what's going on, and if you guys have any questions. We did want to thank you for letting us do the poker run, it went very well. We raised like $3,500, I think, profit. This toilet seat got broken, so I need a price, well, I don't know if you guys want to order it, if you just want me to, I think it's a special toilet seat for that toilet, so let me know. and we
The
will-
outside here, the outside?
No, I think it's this one
Oh,
right
this one
here.
here.
I think it just
Oh.
got slammed down, cracked, and broke,
Oh,
so
okay.
we will replace that. I just need to either give you cash, let me know the price, or where to order it from.
That feels urgent.
Yeah.
All right. And Mr. Street, you got something you need to say? or-
I do, did she,
I have no clue, she just said, I took
pass
she
out
got
the
to
paper?
tell us.
There's a
Yeah.
paper that,
Oh, this page.
yep. So I was approached by Mike Gayer and some other people, and personally, we've missed recycling in our town. So I did some research with Pulaski County Recycling, and I asked some general questions and received some answers concerning recycling. The first question is there a cost? The answer is no. The cardboard service, like we had before, and Chuck Mellon would go and break down the cardboard, that can be done, but there is a cost for that service. So we're talking just the bins themselves that we put the paper in and plastics, etc. The county exchanges it. They say they come and they pick it up, and they do that approximately every 10 days, depending on how full it gets and the amount involved with that. The only responsibilities the town would have, according to this, is to provide a place, but also if people are putting other items out there, which happened a lot, their televisions, their kids' toys, things that aren't recycling and just laying them out, the county will not pick that up. So the town would be responsible for that. So I was asked about this, went and found it. We missed recycling. I think this would be an opportunity to bring it back. So I just asked some general questions. Feel free to call John, the manager, and he provided his phone number as well.
What is the cost? Because the reason that we got rid of it was, number one, people from out of county were coming in and dumping in here. And then like you said, all the trash and stuff. But we were putting all the man hours in, we had all the equipment. And then we were gonna pay you $2,080 a year.
Pay the county.
Yeah. We don't make any money on it. It was costing us tremendous amount of money.
So,
That's why it went away.
right, I get that, I read that, I heard that. According to this, they just bring in the bin on wheels. They'll come and they'll pick it up, take it away, and there's no cost. If you add like we had the separate bin, the open area, we would go and throw our big cardboard in there, there would be a cost to that. I'm just talking the bins and throwing it in there, and they come and pick it up. John says there's no cost to that.
Okay.
Now, if you leave, people leave stuff out, they're just gonna pull it away, exchange it, and it's gonna be sitting there, so, I suppose, that happened probably quite a bit, I saw that. Sometimes it happens elsewhere as well.
Now, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
If people start putting non-things in there, if it's really bad, they'll stop it for a period of time. There's some communities where they will not put recycling in because it was just abused so much.
Do you have a specific cost for the cardboard? Because that was a big thing that people were wanting back.
It was, I did not ask for that. I was just looking at the recycling bins, because a couple of those individual bins had places to put paper in there and cardboard. I was just looking at the bin itself.
Okay.
And that would be a phone call to John.
I have a thought on that. One of the biggest, and he brought this up, was the banning of, they'd get there and like, oh, they don't take TVs and junk, and they're gonna just throw that stuff at the base. I'd be happy to throw a camera up if we want to police it.
We have a camera up there.
Okay, and such, so that, okay, well, then I was unaware of that, but, utilizing that, it would benefit, tremendously, and I'm with you on the cardboard. We have a huge amount of cardboard that we just throw in the garbage now.
I guess that's the phone call that needs made right there. That's the biggest thing as far as recycling people want is the cardboard is just nowhere to get, We all deal with it.
Sure. I have some in my garage right now.
Yeah.
that we just-
And from a business point of view, $25 a month tax, I don't know what you wanna call it, to be a part of it, from just my store alone, it wouldn't bother me at all to pay an additional fee to have this service available. If something, can be, for the businesses to help toward that, as an option so that people can have that.
The biggest problem with cardboard from a citizen of Francesville standpoint, people just go and they throw it in there. So Chuck Mellon, and I'm sure there are others, would go in there and they break it down. If you're gonna throw your cardboard in there, you throw your plastic in there and,
Yeah.
and that's not recyclable, right, and none of that is recyclable. But I was asked about recycling, so I found out some answers, and I just wanted to give it to you, so
Thank you.
you're welcome.
It's worth brainstorming now that we know it's an option again, so.
Alrighty. Anything else? You got any?
Fire, yeah. Last month we had 11 total runs, we had 6 medical. Thankfully had no fires. We had 2 accidents, 1 mutual aid. We had 2 other, we got a false alarm and a prank call, which got a visit by the sheriff. This Saturday from 11 to 3 are the pictures being taken back here for the fundraiser. So, the new truck, if you guys haven't seen it, it's here. If you guys want to look at it afterwards.
When's the pictures from when to when?
11 to 3. We were thinking about building a small room. We have the oxygen refilling station back there. It's the blue kind of hideous looking thing. We got a pressure washer, that storage room where the furnace and everything is, it gets full way forward and it should be by code. We're gonna make a small room back there and kind of hide that stuff with the pressure washer and some other, floor dry for accidents, scene stuff. Is that something that you guys need to approve, or is that something we can just go ahead and do? There would be no fund needed from you guys, we would fund it ourselves.
We're at the building you're gonna put it?
It's just around that blue filling station in the back.
Okay.
So it's inside, it's just like more or less making a closet, is what we're gonna do, so we can hide it. People usually when they rent it, they kind of put something up and hide it, because it's kind of tacky looking. So we thought,
I'm good with that.
I just wanted to bring it to your guys' attention, just to make sure there wasn't any reasons why we couldn't do it.
You guys good with it?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Okay,
Let's go for it.
okay, sounds good. And then, I assume you're gonna talk about the roof?
Yes.
Okay. I'll let you take that. I am done. Unless you guys have questions.
So according to what I'm seeing here, that we would have to come up with $15,994.77.
For the roof?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be our half. Mike's gonna pay the same, and then insurance pays like 17, that's 17, what's on that little slip.
I saw the 17 on this other one.
Yeah. Yeah, insurance will pay 17,610.46, and so out the total 49,600, so then that brings,
49,000 is the total?
yeah, 600 is the total for the whole roof to be done. And then insurance will pay that 17,610.46.
We've almost bought a house for that.
Us and Mike, and then us and Mike will split.
What kind of house did you get?
So you're saying the
I couldn't even
total,
buy my camper for
I
that.
said almost.
the total for us, for the town,
Is the 15,994.77, and then Mike will cover the other half, and then it should all be good.
Tom, did you
Did they
get
do
my,
that in one day?
did you get my other quote?
No, it never did come through.
It didn't go through? Oh.
there's other quotes that came.
I got another quote, because I thought it'd be good to at least get two. The other quote was from Dry Bone, you've probably seen the signs.
Oh, yeah.
They did some stuff at the shop, and they just did Mom and Dad's roof, actually, from the windstorm. But theirs was, I thought you were gonna have this, so I wasn't ready.
And this is Brian Johns.
Dry Bone, okay.
Where's Dry Bones out of, do you know, AJ? No,
Lafayette.
There you go, thank you.
Lafayette.
okay.
We did. This Carl Westfall's old house.
47,000.
Carl Westfall,
Yeah,
the big white house
Yeah.
with floors, they did that in one day.
oh, really, Dry Bones?
Stripped it and stripped it
Oh.
and did
What's
it
the
in one
total?
day.
47,495. And he said they could do it probably in a day. And he would be, no, they'd be extra careful to not block any of the doors and everything. And then he said the ventilation in it is kind of old school, twirly things. He said that's a joke anymore. They have, like solar deals up there that are better. He knew roof stuff that he was going on about. That's all included in that, all the new vents and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not just shingles and anything, yeah.
And how soon did he say he could get it done? I mean, did he know?
Probably a week or two.
So what's the difference on price, I guess?
2,200
Oh, shoot, sorry.
approximately. Maybe 2,100.
Did Brian Johns say when he would start? Does anybody know? Joanne, did you hear from him? So you said his includes shingles and what else?
Vents.
Yeah,
Yes.
solar panel,
Okay, and then Brian's quote includes, the shingle replacement, the wind turbines, and then the cost of the dumpsters, obviously.
So the wind turbines are the
The old towns up in
trolling
the,
things.
yeah. And then they come, he said, I think, every year and do an inspection for like 5 years.
So where does that put us?
Well, if I could just speak on that as well, I believe that's a lifetime shingle price, I don't know.
I think it did say that. In this one.
I've never heard of a roofing company ever doing a warranty, period.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made a lifetime shingle.
Me either.
It says
Never
guaranteed
heard of that.
lifetime architectural shingles with all new trims, boots, etc.
Do you know what kind of shingles, AJ? No, he's working.
Can we not decide this tonight so I can talk to Buzz about it? Because Buzz was really the one behind it, so can we not make a decision tonight on it? Because that was thrown off by having
Yeah.
the second bid, and we had already, me and Buzz had laid down a plan to go with that because we hadn't heard nothing else.
Buzz already knows about this.
And so, well, I haven't, and so that totally threw everything off because I'm pretty sure we paid Brian already because Buzz said to go ahead with Brian. So we paid him the $250 to get materials and his labor already. So,
Per
That-
Buzz, okay.
yeah, so,
Uh,
because I was told, Buzz told me to make a check for Brian to get things started. So that's why I'm confused by everything tonight.
$250 what, dollars?
It's, yeah, it's something on there.
Okay,
yeah.
well then, yeah, we obviously have to put it on hold until we talk to Buzz.
Yeah,
Because the last time you Buzz told me the only
Nice to
thing
know.
was for the repair.
Okay,
That's the only thing Buzz told me that was getting paid is the repair.
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah, because me and Buzz, we discussed doing the whole roof, and he told me to go ahead and write that check for Brian and get it moving so we can decide on it. And
Okay.
So that's why this threw me for a loop, having another bid come at me.
okay, then we'll put it on hold until we talk with Buzz, since he can't be here.
I have something, for your town here. Your equipment where we come in out here is ancient. We never upgraded it. We upgraded the internet coming in. And it comes over here to a box in the fire department up here in the air. And then it splits and it goes into the police department. And then we ran a line over here because we couldn't get any good signal in here. It's pieced together, it's Mickey Mouse together currently to make everything work. I would like for you guys to contemplate in the future, you let me come in and put a town server rack in. And just to let you know, I donate my labor to you. There won't be any labor charge from me for this. But I would like to put, it's multiple access points to the building, but it acts as one signal everywhere, so that we get a stronger signal everywhere. Right now, during live streaming, it's failing at times because I've only got 100 meg in here because that box is ancient. It won't do the 1,000 meg that we have now for fiber coming in. The town, the police department, has a separate link that links over to the park so that he can view cameras, and that works, but he has to detach from the town, from the fiber, and plug into a different connection so that he can see that. So I kind of like to integrate this as we go on and make it so that he has the ability to view the cameras without having to switch networks, and the equipment here gets ramped up. I haven't come up with a price, but I'd like to get her a price, let y'all review it. And it doesn't have to be anytime soon, but it's just something maybe in a budget for you in the future.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Well, the other company that had their equipment in there, did you disconnect any of that? Because
No,
their units are dead and it was after you got done.
No,
Well,
well, I have to switch over to.
Yeah, we don't have that
So
anymore.
it's still up and going.
No, it's not.
No, it
That's
is,
what
I'm on
they
it right
called
now.
me.
But I'm telling you, I'm on it right now. Because I,
The old one?
yes,
Yeah, they're, what the guy did wasn't very, we're not using their system.
Right.
That's why it's offline. He's just wondering why they're not getting any, we switched to him, therefore, we're not using that guy.
When you switch to me, there's a radio out there that they can talk to, and we just kill the power to, you don't need it.
I can't think of that guy's name, out of Rensselaer.
Right, but they also have other people using that equipment that you unplugged.
He did.
Everything
You said-
that was
you just
plugged
said-
in is now working. Your entire building is switched over.
I know that, but I mean, his equipment should still be operating.
It is.
'Cause he-
So,
The way, if you talk to the same guy I did, first of all, that guy had an attitude that was out of this world, and he wouldn't listen.
Mhm.
He didn't do anything to that guy's anything. He switched us to their company,
Mhm.
therefore, nobody in town was using it. So
So it's
he
a
wanted them
now plus the
midway.
Midway, yeah.
concession stands and all that have internet back again then?
I can't answer, yeah, they would still be using that link, they would still be using that. They've never said
What
anything otherwise.
concession stand was having a problem, it wasn't working, so we switched to, they asked us, Morgan Federer asked me if we can get them internet, I went out and plugged it in out there, and now they're on us as well. And I donated.
so are the passwords still the same? The.
Yes, I
Yeah.
didn't mess with any of that, and
Okay.
then they said it's up
I
and
was just
running.
thinking about election, because you know, I'm running the election and,
Well, I'm talking at the concession at the
oh,
park.
I'm talking about here.
This is also the same.
Okay,
But
that's,
again, that's what I'd like to upgrade to a new network in the future.
Okay, we'll think about that.
So just to let you know, we only unplug the incoming signal. There's nothing else that we mess with. And we gave him 2 options to connect to the internet, and we added one here. Those are the only things that we did so far to this building.
Okay.
But it's badly inadequate, and it needs a.
so how old is it?
Well, you got 1,000 meg coming in, and I'll tell you, that box that we're out there isn't even compatible for 1,000 meg, it's only 100 meg. And so we're splitting 100 meg from everybody, including in here. And like I said, I keep getting a message saying that the speed's not fast enough.
Okay.
I get a few people, like, the more people you get clicked on, the more speed you're gonna need to continue pushing the signal
Okay.
out.
So does it tell you how many people are watching?
Yeah, on a different screen, I wasn't looking at that.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
We don't really
so
know.
essentially, this will need updated because this is something we're
We have
gonna
to
continue to do.
Yeah.
So
And-
we'll have to, once you get her the price, we'll add this to the budget for next year then. It's
Yeah,
pretty
and
much
it can wait,
inevitable.
it can wait till next year, it's not a big deal, but
Okay.
I know what is needed to be certified with county and township and such, and passwords and such, and I wanna try to get you guys there.
Okay.
All right. Please?
activity report for May 1st through May 31st, total hours 178, 5 traffic enforcement, calls of service was 10. The only thing that I have was amount for properties in town.
Okay.
And getting those numbers.
The same as last year? The same properties as last year?
Some,
Okay.
Most
Also,
of the time, yes.
also I was told that Edwina, she will also send a letter, if you let her know who you were sending letters to.
okay. And all you got? That's all I have.
Oh, I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
May I ask a question? Not can,
Go for it.
because I know I can. It's just that, okay, and they asked you about no passing in town, and you told them it had to be posted. Is that true? Doug, you? Oh,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
okay. She was passed on the railroad tracks, and you were sitting not too far away, and so she asked you about it.
I have
Do you
no
remember?
idea. No.
Okay, so my question to you is this: is it legal to pass on railroad tracks?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Also, is it legal to pass in town?
If it's not posted as no passing, then you can pass them.
Okay. Is that something that we need to look into? Because in most towns, you can't pass, that I know of. I mean, I never have, although I've done other things.
I will research that for you.
Okay.
Sometime.
That I would like to know.
Okay.
What other things have you done, Susie? That's what we're
I have done,
It's a trend, remember?
It's
especially,
always a problem.
especially with cars.
Does that kind of open up, no passing golf carts that are doing
Yeah,
2 miles an hour?
Same.
Well, no, because golf carts should be getting over. When a car's behind them, they should get over. And then I don't consider that passing.
Yeah, I'm afraid to pass them because you never know if they're about to turn left
I
or
know,
something.
I
and
know.
They're not looking around.
That's
They
why
got
I get, yeah.
Cart one,
That's what
what
we
they
get,
want
we
to
get
do.
over, and maybe that's something that we should say too. If you are being followed by a car, please pull over. You can still keep going. But
Ryan Street,
I'm not even sure where to start, because I took so many notes. Let's just start with the stop signs. You and I went out last month.
Mhm.
The same day, I called in 811. Gridhawk has failed to mark the gas lines. Gridhawk was in town today. They did one, 811, but it wasn't for the stop sign. So I stopped this afternoon because the guy was sitting in town. He says, I'm just filling in. He goes, and if we can't get to them, we can't get to them, you'll have to resubmit the tickets. There's nothing you can do about it. As of January 24, if we have to ask you to do it 20 times, it's 20 times. And I'm like, I'm just asking a simple question. So he's going to try to get them marked tomorrow for the gas lines. Regardless, some of the ones that they have the fiber and cable marked within 3 to 4 inches of where we want to put a post. We can't just, you have a foot on each side of where you wanna put something. So those lines mean nothing. Basically, if I drop a post, I go through cable, a fiber, that's on us. So our option at this point is to get them hydrovac. The holes, if they hit a gas line, a cable, anything, it won't hurt that, and then we can move the sign 3, 4 inches. There's so much,
what's hydrovac?
it's basically, they set a tube in the ground, they pressure wash, they remove the dirt, and suck up that wet dirt at the same time, anything that they might come across, such as gas line, fiber, cable, it won't damage it.
Oh,
So.
It's like sitting a water hose in the ground. And
Yeah.
you keep pushing,
oh,
and
okay.
it keeps going down.
And at the same time,
The water
suck out the-
clears out the hole and you just keep going deeper. And I was about to say, that's exactly what we use.
Okay, so,
So I don't know
Is that equipment or somebody comes and does it?
that's a company, Prime Resource, which Evan Howard actually works for. We're looking at all the holes, he thinks he can do in less than 4 hours, it would be $1,250.
this might be a dumb question, because of the lines, I'm assuming they go continually east and west then? The lines underground?
That's the problem, there's so much underground, you don't know.
Cause I was gonna say, what if we 811 the next block into town and see what they said? But if it's gonna go every which way anyway, it doesn't really matter.
I know the gas line here on Montgomery branches off several places.
Right, and that's a great example. Right down there, it's on one side running east and west, but then it comes underground, running north and south. So you would think just sticking stop signs up, it'd be simple, but it's not, so we need to have them hydroed. And that'll be a total of 10 to 11 holes, it could take less than 4 hours. I was already told without making a phone call, because AccuDig out of Monticello, who all the small towns have been using, would probably be double the money. So if you guys want me to make more phone calls, I can to other, but otherwise, I know we can have him here middle of next week. Get the holes done and just get the signs done.
So since it has been, it's past the 19th, Doug, like when we advertised it, are we gonna have to re-advertise these?
I don't think so. I think we'll just put in we'll just send out the social media post.
Another notice, okay.
Yeah, because we're still talking about doing, you know,
It's the same spots,
the
but it's just a
educational,
different
yeah, no,
date,
but I
so.
mean, like, during that time, we'll have Bob come in and work some hours, and that's what we'll do.
Okay.
We'll just focus on those signs and
I
reminding
just think
people
it's-
that it's a stop sign.
It's crazy that they have 2 feet variance, and I go sticking a stop sign post 3 foot in the ground and hit it. I mean, that's why the back will guarantee that nothing like that happens. And as a municipality, that one ding is, you get 3 strikes and you don't dig, basically, for your, you have to hire it done by somebody else. Like Chris, for example, he won't, the 811s have to be done.
Yeah.
Or he won't touch anything.
Supposedly, I understood if they mark it and you dig it and hit something, it's on 811 to pay it.
I'm being told that it's a 2 foot variance, which makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's actually whatever if it's a 6-inch gas main, they get the 6 inches plus a foot on both sides. So if it's just a single line, then yeah, it's just a foot on both sides.
Yeah.
And if you hit it, it's your fault.
Okay.
Trust me.
You might not be here to know it's your fault.
I know.
You know,
I've been there
I'm
many
like,
times.
I'm picturing that and I don't like it, so,
Take a lot of pictures before you do anything.
yeah. So that's why I just figured if we just got the hydro back, that eliminates the problem anyway. Regardless, where the cables are at on several of the holes, we'll have to do that regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be $1,250 for 4 hours.
And do we have, where would we take that out of?
Come out of street, right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, we have it. Do you know the number, gentlemen?
Yep. What, don't we off the top of my head?
I was just,
Well, you mean you don't have those memorized?
I like too many numbers throughout the day.
Take them home and just
No,
go through them and memorize
It's
them.
not like the type of like nighttime reading I want.
yes,
They would make
we are
me sick.
good, Susie.
But,
Current balance is over 20,000.
well, we just go ahead and do this then, to get it done, because people are asking me when the stop signs are coming in.
That's driving me nuts.
I mean, if
Are
they,
they?
if they have to come in for the few anyway, I don't know why we,
And, you know, like the
the
ones
rest
that,
of them.
the goal this year is to get as many replays as we can. That's a little different because we pull up where a sign's already at
Mhm,
and put in new.
yeah.
Yeah, that's,
With this, it's a whole different situation.
What are you gonna stop sign?
There's several. There's
Several.
gonna be 12 new ones total. There's a map in the town hall you can look at.
Ada.
It was approved back in
Ada and Bill.
March, April maybe, yeah,
So we're trying to curb speeding.
was it?
We have a speeding problem here?
Oh, yeah.
All right, on to,
Yeah,
Well,
we have to,
wait.
we have to conduct business here now.
Wait, so with this, do we wanna table this or do we want to pass this? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking pass it because we have too many people already wanting to know where they're at.
Tom?
I'll second.
Oh, okay, didn't know it was a
Oh,
motion.
I'll make the motion that we go ahead and allot the $1,250 for our whatever, vacuum.
The hydro vac, okay, I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Go suck it up.
Um,
All right, what else you got?
The excavator, we did receive the excavator. We was gonna purchase a trailer at the cost of what we thought was
$8,600.
That trailer is not big enough. So we went to GT Carts. We talked to your friend, Jason. The next step up would be $12,963.60.
12,000 what?
Patsy Krieger's nephews.
What's that?
12,000 what?
$12,963.60.
So, this is to trailer the excavator and the excavator only?
No, whatever you do.
Oh, yeah. Also, we drive the small mower out the lagoons, we'll trailer it out to
Okay.
now on. That'll cut the time in half.
We had setback 25 for a pickup.
You guys decided you're not getting a pickup till
Correct.
next year,
Right.
right?
So we can use the fund from that
The remaining, okay.
to cover that.
All in favor?
So, wait a minute.
You have to make a motion officially.
I move that we spend the 12,000, whatever you said,
$963.60.
that's right, to buy the trailer.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, approved. He had it in stock, didn't
Yes,
he? Okay.
if not within a few working days. That one, it's been 3 weeks, that could be gone, but, yeah.
I said, that's Patsy Krieger's nephews. Did you say
Obviously,
that?
we covered recycling, thank you for that. We do a lot of gravel hauling for the community. When we haul gravel, it's technically a free will donation for a lot of reasons, or for some reason, a lot of people forget that side of it, so we never receive it. And I'll haul as many as 6 loads,
Where does the gravel come from?
the stone quarry.
But you have to pay for the gravel.
The customer.
Yeah, the
does.
customer pays for the gravel,
But
which,
you haul and then the free will offering is to
Correct.
you.
To the
So-
town,
Well,
yes. To just be specific, yes.
yeah.
so what I'm asking at this point is to do away with the free will donation and charge $25 a load. I don't know if this is something else we need to look into, but it costs a lot of money.
That's,
To haul
that's
gravel.
not very much, is it $25 a load?
If
Is
we
that-
haul it like that, do we have to worry about CDLs then?
Well, I'm not thinking about CDLs because.
Then you become an adult. Huh?
I wasn't thinking about CDLs. I don't know the qualifications for, I don't know what you need for CDL. I mean, it just has to be a form of an ordinance because it's gonna be a
Yeah.
charge, but, I honestly don't know about CDLs.
Because I would think that now becomes a for hire.
Well, then, can we say a free will donation of $25 a load?
You can't specify donation.
Well,
Jolene, how many,
yes, you can.
how much,
Suggested donation
Yeah,
of,
yes.
Yeah.
how much have we received so far, do you think, for this year?
It's
Do you
not
know?
much, there's been some that's paid, there's been some that's not paid, even.
And I'm sure, honestly, after they get done with the project, it's just something that's overlooked, but I feel like, the truck averages 4.5 gallons of gas per mile. Some people are getting 3-4 truckloads for it. That's a lot of money
Then
at the end of the day.
Why don't,
On top of the wear and tear.
why don't you instead of you charging $25, just double the stone price?
Double the
Price.
stone price.
But the
Maybe.
price doesn't come through you guys, it comes through,
Yeah, but it's on the tickets.
oh,
You guys bill for the stone, right?
What-
no, they,
They
Yeah,
have to,
that's
they have
what
to
they
call
can-
their card number out there. They don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
text
the other
their
thing.
number.
I used to go out there, take the customer's check, and now they don't do that, so I'm asking if they want us to do that, they have to call out there with their number. And when I'm done, I return the tickets to the homeowner so that they know what was pulled out of it.
Can you call it a $25 fuel reimbursement?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And donation for the truck, $25 fuel reimbursement,
Oh, yeah,
that way it's not a freight charge, it's a fuel reimbursement.
yeah.
I guess we'll look into the ordinance thing on top of the other.
State Board of Accounts understands all the tricks, so if we're just
Yeah.
trying, they know when people try to be cute, because we've been audited, and they say, I know what you're doing here.
And
I
they're,
mean, I can figure it out, I can figure out how to do it, if you guys wanna do it, I can figure out how to make it happen. If
Okay.
you're
I
telling
just
me
think
that's,
we-
yeah.
Yeah,
Something
we
we
didn't
need
do
to
that.
do.
and it's a small fee for as big as the services, I think,
Yeah,
so.
I do too, because it's, we're supposed to get a free little donation for dirt.
That's different.
Okay, because
I'm out there with the tractor all the time anyway, so
Okay.
that's a trip back.
Okay, all right.
I do that actually quite a bit, because if we know we're out there mowing, on the return, we'll grab somebody to sweep the dirt,
Oh, okay.
which I took care of Mary Russell.
Did you?
Do you want old news yet?
Well, we're still waiting on sewer and park yet.
Sewer, everything's running as planned. Park, you guys have received that, for the batting
Received what?
cage.
Morgan,
Yeah.
usually gets under.
Oh, I didn't, what is that? Did I see it?
I thought you looked at it before you.
No,
It's right
I
here.
don't know if I did or not. No, I didn't.
The youth league is wanting,
Oh, a second, we talked about that last time, didn't we? No. Okay. Okay, there you go, thank you.
And I believe that's, you have softball, baseball, and they can both be in them at the same time. Because there's a lot of times, there's a lot of kids down there, so you'll have the girls softball and little league at the same time. And somebody's always waiting on the other batting cage, so.
so it's basically they're wanting approval for the second batting cage for softball field. And then down here for the fencing that we approved, that we aren't funding. The poles were able to stay and the labor is being donated, but the league is wanting, the town to provide between, well, it's got the exact amount actually.
$2,900 was it?
$789 in total for 2 rolls of chain link fence, because it needs replaced. So they're asking for that to be approved tonight so they can move forward with that as well. She could not be here, so that's why she wrote that thing,
Now, is that the fencing for the
that's the
ball
base,
diamond?
yeah, that's the baseball fence.
Okay.
Have we annexed the park yet?
You voted on it.
I know, but is it done then where we have it then? Is it
No,
part of
because
town?
it was not mailed, downstate to the, Secretary of State who manages the elections. Secretary of State, does that sound right?
No, it's, who is it? Could be. I think he's a Hispanic that is in it now.
Diego Morales, yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember what his title is.
Yeah,
Because the
that's
copy
who
was
it
not
is.
sent to them at the end of the year.
Rookie.
So, cause I think Joel and I talked about this with you guys, it's been a couple months, but what we'll probably have to do is re-vote on it, because it has to be sent to those parties by your, it wasn't anyone's fault, it happened during the changeover between clerk treasurer, so no one's being thrown under the bus here.
Right,
But it has to come from the clerk treasurer to the auditor, the recorder, our local clerk, and it has to be sent down state, because they have to know, there's no votes at issue here, but they have to know that no votes are at issue.
right.
Even if it's just vacant property that's being annexed. So what you guys will probably have to do is re-vote on that via ordinance, like the ordinance I prepared for you last time. And then within that many days, you're gonna have to send notice to those different entities because it didn't happen within the
Okay.
60-day time period.
Okay,
So we'll do this in July then.
okay, so will you have that ready by July?
I'll just update the dates that you guys voted on last time because,
Okay.
so remember, you as the owner of the property
Right.
were petitioning the town, which is you yourself, to annex it via petition.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
that's, yeah.
okay.
Okay. So for technicalities, no, it's not annexed, but
It,
Yeah, it was voted on, but it was not mailed to the appropriate body so I think that they
So,
take
okay,
issue with that.
all right.
And under,
Alright, get
like,
it.
and under that, I believe that Mike would split that in half with us.
Okay,
That's the way we've always done it.
okay.
We have a motion on this?
I'll make a motion, we cover the cost for the fencing for the youth league, with the total being $789 in hopes that our trustee will cover half the cost.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's passed. All right, you got anything else?
Not anything new.
All right. Ordinance 3 of 2025, ordinance amending the monthly rate charge for the use of services rendered by the water works of the town of Francesville. This is the first reading.
Do we, do anything with this meeting, Justin, or is this just the?
Just
Just go introduce it, is all you do. Yeah.
Okay.
So what's gonna happen then is, you've probably heard Amber and I talking about it, is you're gonna introduce that. She's gonna add the additional disconnect and reconnect fee into it, and then it's gotta be published in the paper. It's gotta be published at least 10 days prior to public hearing, which will be your meeting in July.
Okay.
And then in July, you will vote to adopt those rates and charges.
Okay. Okay, then I will make a motion that we approve
just do
the first
introduce.
reading, or introduce, okay,
Introduce, yeah.
okay. Introduce ordinance number 3 of 2025. Can we sign it or no, not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, I second it.
Okay.
There's no motion, you just have to read it.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Just this one page?
mhm,
Yep, okay.
Did you guys approve them doing 9 cages?
Yes.
yes.
Okay.
And that was the first reading. And then, old business,
Old
I
business.
take it you have something.
I brought up picking up grass and the fact that I feel it needs to be eliminated. And so what I did is I called 10 towns. I called Winnemac, Mona, Madeiraville, Chalmers, Rhodes, Brookston, Lacrosse, Westville, Royal Center. The only other town that picks up grass is Rensselaer. Like I said, if you want to bag your grass, get rid of your grass. That shouldn't be my responsibility to pick up somebody's grass because they decided to bag it. I think it's the craziest thing we do.
Rensselaer does it for free like we do?
Yes, and they want to get rid of it too. They actually have to hire summer help because there's so much. And because it's absolutely overwhelming for them. As you know, they're a lot bigger than us. As far as brush, like I said, I think everybody cuts trees, everybody trims trees. We have storms. I don't have a problem with that at all, but if you want to bag your grass, either compost it or you can take it to the lagoons yourself. That's my opinion.
So what do we need to do about that then?
I'll tell
Is
you
that
what I think we need to do is we start this month, we send out, as I'm picking up people's grass, I'm gonna make a brochure, I'll either hand it to them or put it on their door that this will be the last season we do grass pickup. If they want to continue, they can take it out or compost.
Okay, so what's gonna happen if they continue to put it out in the road?
It's gonna sit there.
I know, and then
It's not gonna sit there. I mean, if you're gonna have people like that, then I'm obviously not gonna let it sit and rot, because that's what happens now, but, if that happens, I mean, I'll deal with it, but I don't believe anybody would be that person.
Okay, I hope not.
I just think that it's the most disgusting thing that we have to do. Nobody does it,
And it's healthier for the grass to put the clippings on it,
so.
as long as we don't let it go too long.
And like I said, I stated I'd look into bagging it, and there's one other town that does do that, but doesn't. They actually make them bag everything. It's the town of Mona. If they choose to, They take them out, they pay 2 guys, they cut bags open and dump it, and they want to get rid of that as well. None of these towns actually go around and even pick up trees, tree limbs or anything. I'm like, what do people do with it? I would never want to eliminate that service because then your community starts to look bad. And just this week alone, we picked up 7 dump truck loads. And that's smashing it.
Of grass?
Of brush.
Oh,
No,
of
brush.
Brush.
But, I mean, to me,
That's what the storage
that
is.
keeps the homes and everything, you know, I'm not against that at all. But grass is just absolutely disgusting. Because it's not just grass you're picking up, it's water bottles, you're sucking up, dog feces, all kinds of things. So. I'm asking you to go with my well wishes.
Can we do that? With, just tell them we're not doing it anymore, or do we have to publicize it? Do we have to do, I mean,
Yeah, we publicize it by Facebook posts, we publicize it by me handing out brochures.
because that's not part of any fee or anything they pay, right?
No,
No,
it's a free service.
So we shouldn't have to, if we discontinue it, we shouldn't have to do anything official about it if it's free, right?
correct.
No, he's
No, we've
just
done it
wanting,
for years and years and years, decades.
he's essentially just wanting to notify the specific people that do use the service, because we've got door hangers for certain things.
Okay.
I'm not in favor of it.
And that you're not,
I'm not in favor of it.
okay, so what does that mean? You are in favor of it?
I'm up in the
That's
air.
that's
I
a
should
double
say.
negative, which means it's a positive.
Yeah, just because it is a service that we've provided for free for so long.
The only thing, of course, I don't use that service, so
I don't
to
either.
me,
I know.
not having
It's
it
a
is not
horrible
gonna be a big
service.
deal.
Yeah, it's awful. I mean,
And
yeah.
if no other towns do it, except for one,
And there's a reason, because
Yeah.
it's disgusting. If I don't get to that grass within 2 days, it's picking up horse manure is what it is. It's
So
so
you would notify the people and tell them that the service is done after 2025 season.
Yep.
And then they can do it themselves by taking
so
it
you'll
out.
continue this year.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah.
Okay,
That gives them
okay.
plenty of time to
Okay,
decide
I
whether
think
they
that
want to
sounds
continue
good
to
to
bag
me.
it.
I think that sounds good to me, personally. And then maybe we could put on there, ecologically, what is the word? It is better to let your grass clippings go in your yard. It nourishes your yard.
Especially during the dry season.
Huh?
Dry
Yeah.
season, it causes the blanket, it keeps the moisture around.
And it's even better.
Yeah.
See there, yeah. So, do we have to make a motion? Or you want to discuss it some more? Or you want to wait till next time?
It's already June.
I think we'll discuss it some more, because I'm not really in favor of discontinuing myself.
Why?
Discontinuing?
Can I ask why?
Do you pick it, do you
Because
pack
there's a
it?
lot of people that don't have any way to get rid of their grass because they're old and elderly.
But why do they want to
We
do
are an
that?
elderly community.
And you show me one person that's elderly that's dragging it to the road, bagging it.
I don't know, because I don't go around picking it up. I have before, but I don't know, do it, so.
So were you gonna go investigate? or-
Yeah.
Okay, well, because I already did, that's what I'm saying, so now it's on you. All right.
Okay, we'll just table it till July then. I would be in favor of it, like you're saying, I didn't realize you said end of this season. I just didn't want it to end
No,
abruptly
you
for
give it
the
the rest of the
people.
season to
Okay.
figure it out.
All right, if you go the rest of the season, then I would go with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
not
were talking
talking
about
about, I'm not
that.
saying draft, no.
Okay,
I'd say you hand about the brochures, letting them know this is the last season for that.
For that,
Yeah,
Okay, I would go with that then.
yeah.
no, I would never just say, all in favor?
do you want to make the motion?
I move that we discontinue grass collection after this season, 2025.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, you got your way.
It's not even my way, that's community-wise, the best thing we could ever do.
You know that they're gonna put it out there next year.
Oh, you're gonna have that.
They are.
Okay, under old business, I do have another thing, the,
And I
Those
have
are just the
a few
bids, I
too.
didn't open either of them.
I have a few too.
or were you done? You had?
Yeah, that's
okay. The, 2 trees that we got removed, earlier in the year, they said it included the stump removal. Has he just not come back for those
They're
yet?
gone.
Oh, they are, okay,
Yeah,
I must have
they're-
missed them, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I just wanted to bring it up, cause I saw it was like a week or 2 ago, I
She wants to
noticed.
bring it up because we're still mad at you.
No, I noticed Johnson's was still there, is why I said that.
Yeah, and they come back and clean it
Okay,
up.
okay,
And under, since we are, because I meant to call them before they did those, and the, down Brook Street on the east side of the church, next to Michael Edwards, there was a town tree there, the stump wasn't removed, so now it's just,
oh,
well, kind of, it still needs to be ground out. Is it okay if I look into having that done, and then get it filled with dirt?
yeah, to level it up and everything.
Yeah.
They were supposed to have done that when they took that tree down.
Yeah, and I don't know when that would have been.
The
3
house
years
was
ago.
still there, wasn't it? Wasn't that house still there?
No, they removed it this last year, 2 years ago.
Oh, I could have
That would
sworn
have
it was
been before
longer
me.
ago.
I don't know who would have that, I don't even know who would have.
Raiders did.
Raiders. Well, then I'll
Yeah,
ask that.
it was
Yeah, Leroy, or,
Chef.
Matt. And I can have them look into it. Matt might just come back and do it for nothing.
Yeah,
All right.
that was the only thing I had under old business for now.
New business?
I have, well, I have some things, I'm not sure if they're new or old, but let me tell you what I have. First of all, sheds. I work for the assessor part-time, and I know what assessment is. And if you put a shed up on your property, whether it's on sleds or not, it is accessible. And they're driving around, I've noticed there are several sheds, and they are not being reported. Also, when we get, and this is one of the problems, when I got my shed up, I chose to go to the county because it costs $5 to get those. Here in town, it's $25. And then I got in trouble because I should have come to the town. Okay, this is before I was on the town board. Okay.
25.
25 here, 5 over there.
For a building permit.
Well, in the assessor's office, it's called an INR, improvement and removal. So if you improve it or remove it, you need to go over there and fill out a form. They charge you $5, and then they come and look at your property. If you've removed it, they take it off. If you've added it, they add it on. Here in town, it's $25. But nobody's reporting it in town, at least.
I know last year they removed.
You mean for the county purposes? They're not reporting it?
The assessor's office is not getting them. So I'm assuming we're not getting them here. And then I don't think that Jolene knew that when she gets the building permits, she needs to send them to the assessors, but I think she knows now. So, because I talked to her about it, because I don't think Kathy had, had updated her on that. But that's something that we need to maybe put on the website or the Facebook or whatever to let people know. If the consequences are, if they don't report it and when they come to reassess, if they find it, you can be fined. Now, they've never done that so far in the county as long as the present assessor has been in office. But she is able to do that if she wants. And so if she goes out, maybe the next one will fine them because you can get a fine for not reporting. So I thought it would be best to let people know that they do need to report those. And it's whatever goes outside, like even fences, even though fences are not taxed, you still have to tell that when you put a fence up.
Even if you replace an existing fence?
Correct.
So you call the county assessor, you're saying?
No, well, that's another thing we need to, because it costs, what, 25 here and 5 over there, so.
It's a flat
They're supposed-
it's a flat 25, whether you're doing a fence, a add-on to your home, a deck, a
Well, if
porch.
you add on to your home, then you also have to go to the building inspector.
I'm saying the permit for
here.
town
I
zoning, yeah.
believe, I paid 25, well, I was supposed to have paid 25, but I didn't. Because I was stingy.
I know last year they appraised the entire town.
Yes, they did. They had a rotating appraisal, and so we won't be appraised again for 4 years.
Well, the last time I got appraised was back in 2001.
Well, you were probably appraised before that, because it's a rotating schedule.
I moved in here in 2000. So 2001, I was appraised for
Okay.
a 5x8
Oh,
shed, and they assessed me $2,000 on that thing.
well, that's only what it was valued, that's not what the taxes you
It
paid
was
on.
free. It didn't cost me anything.
I know, well, still, even though, but you know, and it's only, usually, like my shed is like $1 or $2 a year.
I paid 200 for that, actually.
Oh.
They lowered it to 200,
Okay, well, see there, that was good.
and I burned it down.
Oh, no.
So-
Did you tell them that you?
Yeah, I still got the rest of it.
Okay.
Let's reel it in here.
Okay.
The point being that there needs to be more communication, you mean, between the
Well,
assessor?
or do we want to have like a grade, like, if it's a house?
This isn't us, this is the zoning board, is the
Oh, well,
issue.
then the zoning board needs to know this.
I want to say about a year and a half ago, the zoning board had a meeting, which you are on by default of being on the town board.
Okay, but I got.
You weren't there at the time, yeah. They voted to upgrade the permit fees and specify fence versus deck versus addition
Oh,
to your
okay.
home.
Okay.
But it hasn't been brought to the town board's attention during an actual meeting, and
Okay.
so it's never been approved correctly,
Okay,
as far as I know. And so that's never been through the process. So right now, it's still the 25 flat rate, no matter
Okay.
what you do.
so if you're in town, then they need to come to the town and get the $25.
Yeah.
Unless we specify that they can go, you know, for something else to, so they need to be doing that because, you know, that's legal, that's what they're supposed to do. And then maybe monthly, if you get them, if you can send that to the assessor.
So when people come in and ask me if they need a permit, I refer them to our building permit person, and then he takes it from there, and so if they need a permit, then they would come back and see me. But so that,
Has that always been the case? Because when
well, I can't tell them if they need a permit or not, so that's why Brian has to do it, because he's hired to do that, so I refer them to them, and then that's, if they're supposed to have a permit, they're supposed to come back and see me, fill out the paperwork and give me the money, but I have not had anyone.
Can you have him tell you, make a list of, yes, we need it for this, no, we need it for that? Anything that is outside that's being added, you should have a
The
permit.
way the building code is written is anything, if you are working on a house and you're not changing the actual footprint of the house, let's say you're redoing a bathroom or whatever, you don't need a permit. But if you are making the inside building larger, then you have to have a permit.
Okay. For the assessor, if you're changing the inside, like if you're adding a bathroom, you need to let them know.
You're saying town residents as well.
Yes, it's countywide. Well, that's the way the law is. But if you're doing something like, now I have to ask about, I don't know about like remodeling your kitchen and stuff like that, but I know adding a bathroom for sure.
So would it benefit the town for her to come here and explain all this to us, because we weren't aware of it?
It probably would.
So you could ask her to come, probably not to the July meeting,
No,
because it's
because
a
I want
pretty
to do-
full agenda,
Okay.
but August or September.
Okay, I will.
Just so it's clear and concise as far as what the town's expected, or what she's expecting of the town.
Okay. That
And
would be a
then
good
we
idea.
could also ask people from the zoning board who's on it to come too.
And then they would know.
Yeah, so it's all the same.
Okay,
That's what I would suggest.
okay.
All right, anything else?
Yes. Who's, who's responsible for the railroad crossings for the active railroad tracks?
The railroad.
Okay.
CSX, yeah.
We've been in contact with CSX, they said I could specify the guy's exact words, but I'm not, but he said, get on the list. But he said it a little, very more rude than that.
Oh, good, okay.
We contacted them because we did our part. We
I know.
asked if we could patch, and they said absolutely not, because it could cause a derailment. That it's-
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's nothing else we can do. And that guy even said, you guys call every year, you act like it's an emergency or something.
Well, it's not an emergency, but it's,
Yeah, I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
that CSX has been contacted, and we're not very nice people to talk to.
fire equipment that is used, that is out of date. What do you usually do with that, do you know?
We had a bunch of SCBA's that we just donated,
North Carolina.
down south
Okay.
for all the,
Do you ever think about donating them to foreign countries? I have,
foreign countries.
well, see, I had a request from the Philippines that they are short like of helmets and boots and things like that. And I said, well, I would ask if you ever donate your equipment that is outdated, because they'll take outdated.
Never have, usually there's people
That's here in the
here
United
that you can
States.
donate to, yeah.
Okay.
Other
all right.
departments that aren't set up very good, that don't have
Right.
any money.
So we will take care of our here first. Okay, that's, and then one more, and then I'm done, I promise. Fireworks. What are the, oh wait, I've got two more. Fireworks, what is the regulation for fireworks? Because they've been shooting them off, it sounds like a
It's
cannon.
Indiana state law for fireworks, and during certain days around the holidays, they can shoot them off up to 2 hours past sunset.
Uh-huh.
And like on the 4th and on New Year's, they can do it till midnight. But they can do it any day of the week for so many hours after dark.
So whenever they want, so there's no,
There's a time like they ask to stop.
but, okay, that's all I wanted to know, because somebody was asking me, and I said, that's what I told them, that I thought, that they could do it any time of the year, but it was a time limit.
And I will, as it gets closer to them happening more often, I'll post that again.
And I was so surprised they were going off last week, and I'm thinking, I didn't know what was they were celebrating a birthday or something, so, I don't know. And, oh shoot, I forgot what the last one was.
Fire rate,
Oh, how did you know?
you asked me.
Okay, fire rings. Is it true they're only to be 18 inches?
Did we discuss this last time?
Yes, but I wanted,
He was not here last time.
yeah, and I think AJ is the one. Are you sure, AJ, it's 18 inches?
That's what Buzz told me, when we had all the fire red alerts and no one could have fires, it had to be about
18 inches is
18.
nothing.
Well, they don't want small fires.
Well, 18
You're in
inches,
town.
18 inches, that's not as big as my lazy Susan on my table.
Is that during
Fire
fire season or?
I
And
don't
also, does
think,
that include in-ground or the above that you can set like on a patio?
yeah, and the 18 inches, I don't think that's realistic, myself personally.
Are you saying you can have a fire in town that's that big?
18 inches is only,
I'm certain that's what Buzz said, it could only be 18 inches, and it had to be so tall.
Yeah.
But I don't know where that figure came from.
Right.
I would think that would be something for the zoning too, don't we have a fire pit?
is that zoning or is that?
I thought there was something where it couldn't be over a certain size, or I can't remember exactly what I seen. But it may not even be considered a fire pit. I want to say it was like a barbecue or something, like a barbecue pit.
Can we table that and get an answer and get back?
Yeah, I think so, because I think
That's awful small.
Yes, it is. You can't even put a anything in there. Okay, I'm done.
All right, is the board review claims and motion for approval?
Yes, I will make a motion, we accept claims as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
I didn't second it.
I'll second it.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Additional comments or additions to the meeting?
Additional comments, I guess, would be that, just to notify and put on record that we are having a public hearing at our July meeting. It will start at 6 o'clock for upcoming water project. If any resident would like to come and hear about the water rate increase or any details about the project.
And then motion for meeting?
I move that we dismiss this meeting.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
You're gonna miss me.